The Wizard of Oz is a great book and movie all on its own, but what makes it especially interesting to me is that it is rife with political innuendos, historical context, and cultural relevance, even over 100 years since its publication. I want to talk about all those things, but first, a recap of what happens. Spoilers ahead. We start in Drab, Kansas, where we meet Dorothy, a young girl living with her aunt and uncle who hates her life and is bored with the farm. It doesn't help that this woman makes her life hell and tries to steal her dog, so she runs away and meets the Mystic Man, who she tries to convince to take her with him, but he tells her to go home. Just in time for a tornado to come, sweep her and her dog up, and drop her house in some faraway place, which is now magically Technicolor, on top of a witch. She meets Glinda the Good Witch, who gives her the Dead Witch's shoes, which pisses off the Wicked Witch of the West, the Dead Witch's sister. All Dorothy wants is to go home, so Glinda tells her to find the wizard in the Emerald City, so she starts her journey. She meets some friends, the Wicked Witch tries to kill them the whole time, and they finally make it to the Emerald City, which they view through green-tinted glasses. They meet the wizard, who is not Bernie Sanders, but, He tells them to get the witch's broom or hat, I don't remember, and he'll give them everything they ask for. So they go kill the witch by melting her. On accident, but still harsh. They go back to the wizard only to find out he's a fraud and can't give them what they asked for. He does his best with little trinkets for the three friends, but can't really send Dorothy home. So he decides to leave Oz, since he's been found out, and tried to take Dorothy with him. He accidentally leaves without her, and now she has no way home until Glinda magically reveals that her shoes can send her home and have been able to the whole time. Wow, rude. So she clicks her heels 3 times and ends up waking up from a bad dream, and we find her back in her Drab, Kansas farm home, happy to be back with her family. The end. Now to get to the historical parts. There's multiple theories about the story and the movie and all the political and historical innuendos that lie within them. Some of the most popular include the yellow brick road and silver shoes, which are red in the movie because it filmed better, that are an allegory for whether the United States should adopt the gold or silver standard, and the city of Oz was called that because it's the ounces abbreviation, which is how gold and silver are weighed. Historian Quentin Taylor sees additional metaphors, including the scarecrow as a representation of American farmers and their troubles in the late 19th century, the Tin Man representing the American steel industry's failure to combat increased international competition at the time, and the Cowardly Lion as a metaphor for the American military's performance in the Spanish-American War. Assistant Professor Quentin Taylor at Rogers University said, Dorothy, naive, young, and simple, represents the American people. She's the everyman, led astray and seeking the way back home. Moreover, following the road of gold leads eventually only to the Emerald City, which Taylor sees as symbolic of a fraudulent world built on greenback paper money, a flat currency that cannot be redeemed in exchange for precious metals. It is ruled by a scheming politician, the wizard, who uses publicity devices and tricks to fool the people and even the good witches into believing he is benevolent, wise, and powerful when he's really a selfish evil humbug. He sends Dorothy into severe danger, hoping she'll rid him of his enemy, the Wicked Witch of the West. He's powerless, and as he admits to Dorothy, I'm a very bad wizard. Another telling excerpt says, the Wicked Witch of the West is a figure for the actual American West. If this is true, then the Weekend Monkeys could represent another Western danger, indigenous peoples of the Americas, which weren't really a danger, but to the colonizers they were. The king of the Winged Monkeys even tells Dorothy, once we were a free people, living happily in the great forest, flying from tree to tree, eating nuts and fruit, and doing just as we pleased without calling anybody master. That was many years ago, long before Oz came out of the clouds to rule over this land. One of my favorite theories is that Glinda is actually evil and uses Dorothy as a pawn to kill the Wicked Witch and get rid of the wizard, and then take over Oz. This idea is actually explored in a great book series called Dorothy Must Die by Daniel Page. And the relevance to the world doesn't stop in the past. People are still referencing The Wizard of Oz to talk about current political situations. Canadian author Margaret Atwood linked Donald Trump's election in 2016 to the wizard. The wizard is the president-elect. He has no magical powers. And there are tons and tons of other theories out there if you just do some light Googling. And there's also the cultural impact that's been left. As an avid collector myself, I've amassed many items with all kinds of uses and aesthetics, all related to The Wizard of Oz. I don't know what it is about the movie that has me so fascinated, but I've been collecting since I was a kid. It means something to me. It makes me happy. Maybe it's the colors, I don't know. But it brings me and many others joy and excitement when we can add to our collections. And collectors aren't the only ones still excited. There's an exhibit in the Smithsonian for American history, multiple Broadway shows and adaptations, books, comics, costumes, and so many other books and movies inspired by this story. I don't really know the reason people are still so interested in The Wizard of Oz, but I'm glad it's still relevant.